Back now with a 10 on your side investigation on problems at the Port of Virginia.
And tonight we are digging deeper into a story that we've been covering for months now. Last month, Andy Fox talked to truck drivers who found long lines and long waits as they tried to load and unload containers. Port leaders have been taking steps to fix that, but is it enough? Some drivers say it is as bad as ever. Andy Fox is here now with a look at the uncontained chaos at the port.
Tom and Nicole, it's odd because financially things are great at the port. These containers represent 6 years of losses, all of these years, totaling $102 million. Finally, this year, a profit of over $6 million. Even with the profit, truckers we spoke to say things have never been worse.
If you build it, he will come.
You remember the movie Field of Dreams, Build It and They Will Come? We've got the reverse here, Andy. They're coming and we haven't built the field. We got a lot of work to do.
The Port of Virginia CEO John Reinhardt's movie reference is for a real-life problem. Truckers are constantly backed up trying to get into the Virginia International Gateway, known as VIG, and the Pinners Point Container Yard, both in Portsmouth.
About 2 hours.
2 hours. What do you think about that?
It's ridiculous.
We are raising the veil on why there are so many backups at VIG. Not enough equipment, too many trucks, too much volume. Here's the problem. These trucks right here are in the queue. They're waiting for cranes to drop or pick up containers. These trucks are what they call on deck. Now, here's the problem. We have all these trucks, which are now waiting up, having to wait to get on deck. These trucks back up so much, sometimes they are backing up out of the port, and truckers call it a big mess.
I'm angry, very upset. This is my livelihood. This is the way I pay for my shelter and my food. I take care of my children this way.
And that's so disheartening and tragic, because what we're trying to do is make it so the motor carrier can survive.
Truckers knock Reinhardt for not getting it, but it appears he does get it. He mentioned the port's congestion problems 10 times in his recent State of the Port address.
This is what it looks like at VIG. This is what the motor carriers see when they pull in. Unacceptable. This didn't get screwed up in 3 weeks or a month or 6 months. This has gotten built up over multiple years of a lack of investment in the infrastructure of the ports of Virginia.
Reinhardt says the port's new profits will pay for new equipment to improve infrastructure, which could be used at the Pinners Point Container Yard.
Drivers can't even get off the interstate roadway. 164, Martin Luther King, they're coming underneath that underpass around, and all this.
What is going on here?
Andy, it's poor mismanagement.
Until their experience improves, I can see why they would say it's just lip service. I appreciate that.
This is mismanagement at its best.
That from Reinhardt's sharpest critic, trucker John Anderson, who sends stinging commentary through social media and who claims all of his suggestions for improvements have been rejected by the port.
I was just frustrated. I listened to what John Reinhardt had to say, and it was just so much garbage that I couldn't keep quiet anymore.
We asked Reinhardt about Anderson's criticisms.
He's got some very good ideas, and he's somebody that's doing the work. The people that do the work got to be involved in the solutions, or you make bad decisions.
Reinhardt knows the port, and he knows pain. He got emotional remembering his son Jake, who died in 2005 at 23 from a brain aneurysm. Jake worked in a port-related business.
You have a vested interest.
Part of the reason I took this job was for my son, because I want kids in this Commonwealth to have a job when they get out of school. Those are the gates.
Just like that, Reinhardt switches his attention to these gates as an example on how the port is trying to help the truckers. There are 15 gates. When more trucks are trying to leave than enter, the inbound gates become outbound gates to keep truckers moving.
You got the best port in America?
Not yet. We've got the best potential port in America.
Improvements are underway at VIG to make container pickups and drop-offs faster, but you heard it from the top guy there. Our port is not the best. We are behind the port of Savannah in market share for moving 20-foot containers and just above Charleston. And it begs the question that is it because of that, the container issues that we just profiled in our investigation, that is the case? John Reinhardt says the port fight is one we can't afford to lose. I'm Andy Fox, 10 on your side.